What's going on, everybody? This is Chaos-Reighn here. Today I am going to post my videos a little early instead of a little late, and my reasoning is because I probably won't be on all day today. As such, I want to kind of take care of what I can now. So, first things first, I will be going over part 3, excuse me, part 3 of my crash course into, doing all this kind of, syndicate. Sorry, I'm a bit sleep deprived and a bit, out of it. But anyway, excuse me. If you remember in my last video, I said we are going to focus on a few names. These names we focus on: It That Fled in research, Verici in research, Aisling in research, Hillock in transportation, the first house, is weapon quality. Hillock in the second house is armor quality. That being said, those are our main ones we focus on, and this is what we're going to be trying to do. I will try to enforce this every single time, every single, what do you call it, video I make from here on, to kind of give you a look, and you'll see, what we're doing. I haven't run my syndicate at all since then to leave my house exactly the way it was. That way you guys are playing, basically playing with me. If you remember in my last video, we know who this and this is. I don't remember the names, but I know these two names have nothing to do, excuse me, have literally nothing to do with, the 4 names that we've mentioned. So now we have to run Syndicate and figure out who does. So let's see. Let's see if we can find any of our members. Next Syndicate mission, and let's roll. Ooh. Don't really need to do the Harbingers, especially the Kings, because they take so long, but I'm going to do them anyway. Alright, let's see. Sorry I haven't been talking, I've been just kind of killing everything. So what do we have? Oh, perfect. This is who we're looking for. This is actually the person who we're going to run our whole thing for. Aisling. Aisling in research, check. We have officially found out where she is. She's in the proper house. Now, we can officially run Katarina without any issue. Next, we have 2 people who are no rank. So one of them we can afford to add, but we don't want to add both of them to the house just because, well, we can't anyway, but we don't want to add them to the house just because we want to leave a couple slots open in case there is slots open in our safe houses, or for people that, we need in the right positions. So now we're going to just execute one, and hold on, let me kill these little mice. And we do this. Janice drops some currency. Looks like we got a little bit of stuff here and there. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Perfect. Now, we move on with our lives, go into our next map, and call it a day. Now I am trying to run as much of this as possible, so getting Valdo's rest maps in return is going to be a big help. So I will be taking advantage of that if I can. Alright, perfect. We got another map so we can run June on. We got one map sustain otherwise, so yeah, we're doing pretty good. Now we have Aisling in the proper house, and all we need to do is run Katarina as is, do an instant Aisling slam. Now, as you saw, this was maybe 10-15 maps to get her into the proper house, or just to kind of show you. Isn't always this way. Sometimes you will spend a lot of maps, a lot of time, a lot of missions, just to even see Aisling. For example, the last 2 Katarina fights I did, I believe, or maybe the last one, I'm unsure. I didn't see her in all the houses, meaning she didn't roll into those houses. Now, there are times when you do Katarina, it'll shuffle the people out. Sometimes, or most of the time, it keeps them in, but there are times that it'll shuffle them out. Just be aware of this before you decide to, go super ham and run your Katarinas willy-nilly. So, that being said, if you understand these kind of basic things, the rest of it is just basically knowing where to put people and knowing how many spaces in a house you can have. The maximum number of spaces in a house is 5. Currently, with our house right now in research, we have 3 spaces. We have 3 spaces, 2 of them being empty. So we can actually, if we find the other 2 people that we are looking for, we can actually sit there and get a couple of, just get a little bit of added benefit to our whole thing here. Now, normally, because this is standard, I don't usually care about the Legion. Probably shouldn't even bother with it, but I don't really care, so let's just quickly dispatch everything in the Legion. There we go. There's a reason to care about it. Alright, so we have Tora. Tora's by herself. Normally, I would just be like, well, actually, if you see right there, we're almost full. So if we do this, now we're full in intervention. So as I said before, there is a notable that says our characters, or sorry, our house gets experience if we don't interrogate them. Now, it's not always going to be that smooth and, just using the very last bit of your thing, giving that last 6 intelligence to do that, but when you do notice that, it is kind of an extra benefit, just because you won't have to imprison and wait, an extra map to do it. Now I can just go back to my hideout and run my next safe house. After running that safe house, I will only have to wait 1 or 2 maps before I can then fight Katarina again. And then I can show you all over what it's like to set up her house. And each time you do it, you can set it up with multiple people if you find them, or you can just set it up with Katarina, with 1 person tier 3 to upgrade to tier 4, and call it a day. Normally I don't do a full clear, but I have Metamorph, and I just gave away all my Metamorph organs, so I'm trying to complete a Metamorph now. Alright, perfect. Now, we killed the Metamorph, we got our organ, and we're gonna get out of here. Now, since our house over here is filled with intelligence, we're gonna talk to her, and we're gonna immediately run it. Basically, what we want to do here is within the time it takes us to fill up this Katarina, we want to figure out a couple of things. First, we want to figure out who's the leader of this house and if they're going to be good to be put into any of the other houses. If not, we need to figure out something else. And that something else is how many people, but by the time I run Katarina, can I get to rank 3 so I can get them to technically rank 4. Having them leadership no longer means anything. Unfortunately, they changed that. They just made it so Katarina upgrades. So let's go ahead and see who is the leader of this house, and if we can change them into another house and maybe level them up before running our Katarina. If we can do that, that will be really, really beneficial. If we can't, or if it takes too long, it's actually better just to run it. It really depends on the way your board's set up and how many houses you have near full. Since we don't have a lot of houses near full, I'll make a judgment call once I figure out who the leader is and figure out what I'm going to do there. Hillock. Okay, so Hillock is who we're actually looking for. So we have Hillock, and we're basically just gonna dome him down after he's dead. Alright, cool. Oh, I have to kill his friend. There's Tora. Alright, so Hillock has to be moved into one of the first two houses. So we're just gonna interrogate him. Oh, I got a Paradoxica. Well, that's expensive. Let me just share this with Global. Alright, now we can go over here and see what scarabs we get. We get Polished Harbinger, that's good. We like Harbinger. That's probably Tora. And then what does Hillock give us? Abyss. Not bad. Not good, but not bad. Alright, so now that we know who our leader is, we can actually weight the extra maps and put him into the area he needs to be. Now that we found him, I actually have someone who's going to pay me to, quality their stuff. So let me tell him real quick. This is basically a good way to make some good currency. I found Hillock in my sin. Where you want him? Weapon or armor qual? Alright. So now he'll respond when he responds. I'm not going to worry about it, but we're going to go ahead and just put our next map in, and then we're going to start just dropping all this stuff in our thing. Ooh, another canyon. We're going to run that. Is that another canyon? Castle ruins, castle ruins. Okay. Perfect, 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 perfect. Let's go ahead and put canyon. Yeah, canyon. Put this on. Get our next sin. Alright, now we can go ahead and just put this blueprint away and this Valvar beer away and get back in our map. So now you can kind of see, what's going on, who's going where, so on and so forth. Hopefully our guild lead responds and he wants to buy it. If not, I can just quality something else, and normally they sell for a little bit of currency anyway, so it's just kind of whatever you want to do. So now we are going to, there we go, do this. Fortification, who do we have? Now we know a lot of our people. We have Janice, Guff, Haku, Tora. Alright, so we don't want all these people in here first and foremost. So far, looks like the only one in here is Guff. So Guff is going to get executed to make him rank 3 immediately. Like I said, one of our first goals is to get our Katarina ready. So this is what I was talking about. It looks like Hillock was just down leveled and then moved into intervention. Unfortunately, what this means for us is that it will take us 6 maps minimum if we encounter him within those 6 maps to just pop Hillock off and put him into the right house. Now, sometimes it doesn't work that way and you can just pop him off and, he'll go right house right away, but it's not always that lucky. So let's go ahead and see what else we can do. Haku. Alright, so we're gonna level these guys up to 2, and this is going to be a different kind of strategy, and here's why. First and foremost, there is a modifier that the syndicate members can get, which will say this person and this person change positions, and you bargain, and when you bargain, you end up getting intelligence. So I'm actually going to run 1 or 2 maps just to see if I see that option pop up. If it doesn't pop up, I'm just going to run Katarina for the Iceling and call it a day. So let's go ahead and see about this. Tark and Hillock become trusted. So yada yada yada. They get intervention intelligence. All right. On top of the intelligence I got for them becoming trusted, I also got 6 free intelligence just because I didn't interrogate anyone. Now, normally, if you're doing a full setup, you want to interrogate people a little more. It's going to take you a little longer to get things perfect the way you want them. But what we're doing is we're doing targeted stuff where we're trying to target things specifically, Iceling slams and the Varici white socket benches and anything like that that we can to try, get a little bit of a boost on some of our gear and or finish some stuff off and or help out people who are looking for these crafts. So that being said, I know I'm kind of talking a lot and giving a lot of information, but if you just to kind of slow down, if you can't keep up, so far we started last episodes by saying you're gonna have to remember 4 names. You're gonna have to remember Hillock. He goes in the first or second house. You're gonna have to remember Isling. She goes in the 3rd house. You're gonna have to remember It That Fled, and you're gonna have to remember Varici. All 3 of these last ones always go into research, so that's really easy to remember. Everyone else is kind of irrelevant. You don't really have to worry about leveling them up. They're just kind of adds, but the main 4 that I listed are the ones that are extremely, extremely valuable and what I would recommend, doing something with. So, as such, I'm going to go to check my investigation. If you look here, within the time span of the first 2 episodes, which was maybe 10 maps or so, not only did we get an Iceling ready for tier 4, we also found Hillock. If we want to, we can spend another couple maps to try and move Hillock. That's what I'm going to try and do real quick. But we also set up Katarina, and as you saw in our first fight, we had a pretty simple Katarina once we brought in the bleed bow, and it was really quick, really over with, and it was easy fight. So I'm going to run a couple more maps, just 1 or 2, even though Katarina is ready. And normally, if you're target farming, for example, like I'm target farming the Iceling Slam, then you do not want to run Katarina. Then you want to run Katarina right when you get Iceling in the right position. However, if you are targeting multiple, you would want to run a whole bunch of maps like I am, and maybe try and get a little bit more bang for your buck to try and, have more value come out of everything. If there's any information that you feel like you want to know that I am either leaving now, or you think you have any questions about any of these methods, please feel free to leave a comment on my videos and or send me a message on PSN if you know me. As you know, I am relatively active in the PS4 community, and I do tend to talk to a lot of the people. A lot of people do know me from my YouTube and whatnot apparently on here, so that's pretty cool. I get to meet new people, and people get to get helped out by my advice, hopefully. And if not helped out, maybe they just like it because I am helping people out. I don't know. But I do enjoy doing this, and I do enjoy bringing this kind of information to people. So if it benefits you and you want to, give a shout out, please feel free to do so. So our first one was research. What we actually want to hit instead of research is intervention or fortification. If we hit either of these 2, we are going to be golden, hopefully, to swap over our Hillock to fortification. If not, it's not a big deal, not the end of the world. We can just continue and move on with our lives. Let's see, carnal armor, huh? Interesting. Alright, sorry I'm not talking, just trying not to get one tapped by the Cyrus possessed enemies. It can be a little bit annoying. Alright, keep doing that. One of these days they won't do that. Cool. As you can see, we're getting a lot of good value, and we're getting a lot of just general, just a decent setup overall to try and get our syndicate done. And it is really worth it in the long run to do this, especially if you're looking for some kind of certain specific modifier. So we have Ghetto and we have Dry Sea. We're going to run Dry Sea real quick. Then we are going to put these in our tab. And let's see. This is going to be the last map I do, just because I don't want to spend 6 maps getting Hillock out of his house, and then spend another chunk of change getting, other people out of their house. So usually what I do, this is a very common practice for a lot of people, is what you can do is you can get some houses pretty close to leveling up. This way you can kind of manipulate your board a little bit more as soon as you run Katarina. This is a little bit of advanced stuff and advanced knowledge. As such, I will impart this knowledge onto you so you are fully aware of what I am doing and why. And then when I run Katarina, I will show you how easy it is to get set up afterwards and kind of just keep chain running her over and over, hopefully getting the people you need in the right houses. Sometimes it doesn't work out that way and you'll have to just bite the bullet and call it a day. But when it does work out, it works out very well and you end up benefiting a lot from it. So it looks like our syndicate this time is transport. I'm unsure where they are currently, but I'm just going to keep exploring anyway, so it's not like it's a big deal. So it looks like our syndicate is actually literally on top of a Harbinger. Riker died, that's fine. Riker's in transportation, that's not that cool. We don't really care about this house because this is not a house we truly want to deal with. Alright, so we got a bunch of shards. Alright, Riker. Tora moves to transportation, Riker and Tora become trusted. Yeah, we'll do that just because we want to put someone just there and get it over with. As you see, we have 2 houses that are pretty close to running, and this is what you want before you set up Katarina, just because you want to kind of get a kind of a look into what your houses are doing as soon as you can, and go from there. Now I need to find the boss, which I think is down here somewhere, maybe? I don't think I killed it, but I've been known to just wander off and kill the boss before. There we go. So this is the little boss arena. There it is. Real little... And bam. We're going to definitely take the promenade map. And we're going to move on with our lives and get a little bit of get a little bit more benefit from this. So as I said, if you can, you want to get 2 houses really close to leveling up to being able to run. Whether you run them or not is irrelevant. Just leaving them close to run is fine. Just because you want to try and run your next Katarina as fast as possible, and this will help ensure that. Along with helping ensure that, it also locks you out of these houses when they're full. That way you can focus on getting the other 2 houses, especially if you lock, for example, research out. You don't want a lot of people to be able to go into or out of research at that moment. You just kind of want to figure out, who's where and where you need to put them, etc., etc. So, let's go ahead and get to this next map, and then after this map, I will show you where we're at currently, and then I will end that video there and kind of, say my goodbyes, and I'll miss you and all that. And anyway, yeah, so we're just gonna real quickly run this map. After we running this map and show you what we're doing with Syndicate, I will call it a do and probably start recording my second video for the day, just so you guys can see, what it's like and what you're looking for, why is it good, why is it bad, so on and so forth. So as you know, I am farming Conquerors as well. So on top of doing these maps for this reason, I'm also farming Conquerors to try and get bit of an extra umph as well, and as far as my pocketbook. I am in standard, so I don't need the currency, but it's just like when you're doing stuff like this, you always have to think about multitasking. How much can you do at once? As you see, we even have King Harbinger here, which we're just killing all his packs instantly, and you know, it's not even a challenge, so why not? It doesn't take any extra time, and we get a couple shards for it, so that's nice. Alright, looks like we got transportation again. That's the one we didn't want. But it looks like we have 3 people now, so that's fine. So first we're going to go over here to... Let's go ahead and kill these guys. Go over here to Tora. We're going to execute. She goes to rank 3. Go to Riker. Execute. He goes to rank 3. And then Guff. Guff is over here. So Guff and Hillock become trusted. +2 intelligence. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to do this because we get intelligence for these 2 houses. That's really good. As I said, we were going to run 2 maps and then we're going to, you know, run our Katarina because it'll take way too many maps to get Hillock into the right area, and we don't want to do that. Let's go ahead and grab the Elder map. Perfect. Now that you guys have seen the next step, and as you saw, we got pretty lucky and got Aisling immediately. On top of that, we do have a couple houses with very little intelligence on them, and we have a couple houses with a lot of intelligence on them. So when we do run after Katarina, the houses will keep their experience, and when we're running them, we can fill them up even quicker to try and get more benefits of, you know, how to farm Katarina. So what it is called, at least what I like to call it, when you run, you know, when you run your Katarina and you have full houses, for example, I would call that something like house blocking. Basically, this means you're blocking these houses from being encountered inside of a map. And if you're doing that, especially if they have enough people on each individual house, other than that, you will end up just getting a whole huge chunk of benefits from running the lab this way. So let's go ahead and call it here. I hope you guys enjoyed my video. In the next video, it'll probably be really short. It's just going to be me explaining, you know, everything again about Katarina and kind of showing you exactly, you know, why Aisling is such a good mod and such a good whatnot to take care of and try and hit. So without further ado, this has been Chaos-Reighn. Thank you very much for watching my videos up until now. If you guys have any questions, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment in my videos. If you know me on PlayStation, you are free to send me a message on PlayStation. And even more so, if you do want to see anything and you have video requests, please feel free to send me that video request. And if I can and it's in my power, I'll get to you and get to the video. Thank you. Like always, take it easy, everybody.